the waiver, and then we'll go ahead and get started. In order to make these classes as freely accessible to our participants as possible, we will be using a verbal warning and assumption of risk at the beginning of class. Participation in this online class is voluntary. Physical activity programs may result in injury, and by participating, you assume the risk of injury that may result from your participation. We strongly recommend that you participate from a space that is suitable for this activity. For example, make sure that you've moved nearby furniture or other potential hazards. If you are participating in yoga class or class involves lying on the ground, we recommend using a mat. If you don't have a carpeted area, participants are encouraged to stop if they experience pain or injury and should seek appropriate medical advice if care is needed. William Mary Health and Wellness strongly recommends that each participant have an annual physical examination. Follow the healthcare advice of your provider before participating. Okay. Now that we are done with that, we're going to get started just in a comfortable seat on your mat. As always, if you can't hear me, please type it in the chat so that I'm talking to you and not just to myself. You can sit crisscross applesauce or on your heels, whatever feels better to you. Sitting up nice and tall, rolling those shoulders back. You can close your eyes if that feels good to you here. Starting to just be present on your mat. All of us have a lot going on in our days, and sometimes when we get to a new activity, such as a class or in a workout class, we just need a second to settle in to our body, let go of the rest of our day, reconnect with our breath. Breathing from your diaphragm. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale all your air out. You can keep your eyes closed, just gently bringing your right ear to your right shoulder. And bring your neck back up to center. Bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Coming back up to center and then back over to the right. Inhale up to center and exhale over to the left. Coming back up to center, looking down towards your lap. Then look up towards the ceiling. Good, look down towards your legs. And up towards the ceiling. Coming back to that neutral spine, you can open your eyes if you have them closed, if you would like to. And then inhale your arms out and up. Twisting to the right, bring that left arm across your right thigh. Nice gentle spinal twist to warm up your back. Bring your hands back up to center and then twist to the other side, bringing that right arm across your left leg. Bring your hands back up to center and then tip over towards the right. You can bring that forearm down to the ground if that feels good to you. Really rotating your shoulders open. Try to extend that top arm. And coming up to center and going over towards the left. Trying to keep both hips on the ground. Open your chest up towards the sky. Nice. Coming back up to center and then fold down over your legs. Rocking side to side, warming up your hips and lower back here. Pressing yourself back up to center, and then clasp your hands behind your back, rolling your shoulder blades together, broadening your collarbone. Pausing here, you can have your palms together or apart, whatever feels better to you. And then switch which thumb is on top. making sure we're evenly stretching our collarbone and our shoulders. Releasing that, bringing your legs out in front of you, sitting up nice and tall, and then super gentle forward fold. Just bring your hands next to your legs, starting to get into that connective tissue before we start getting into our muscles. The connective tissue is also called fascia, and stretching it can really help increase your flexibility more than if you only stretch just your muscles. Pressing yourself back up to center, and then bringing your feet together, knees wide, coming into butterfly. Sitting up nice and tall, and then press into one knee and lean away from that side, opening up your inner thigh and maybe the side of your body. Coming back to center, press into the other knee, lean away from it. Coming back up to center and maybe fold forward a little bit if that feels comfortable to you here. Coming back up to center, bringing your knees together, and then coming into that tabletop with your wrists right below your shoulders and your knees right below your hips. Pulling that core up and in, belly button goes towards your spine and also up towards your face. And then start to extend your right arm and your left leg. Tap your fingers and toes down. Inhale up, exhale, squeeze elbow to knee. Good, inhale, extend, exhale, tap down, inhale up, and exhale, squeeze. Do 2 more rounds of that at your own pace, moving with your own breath. Nice, slow and controlled movement here. Pausing on the extension when you're done. Reach around, grab onto your foot or your ankle. Stay here or kick into your hand, coming into crossbow. That top foot, make sure it's either pointed or flexed to really engage that leg. Release back to that extension and bring your hand and knee back down to the ground. Flipping that left palm over so your fingertips face your right hand and your palm faces the sky, and then lean over towards the right. Stretching out that wrist here. Coming back up to center, and then touch every fingertip to your thumb. And go back the other way. Then shake that wrist out. Place it back down on the mat, and we're going to go to the other side. So your left arm and right leg extend. And tap your fingers and toes down. Inhale up, exhale bend. Good. Inhale, extend. Exhale, lower. Inhale up and exhale, bend. 2 more of those. Moving with muscle control and not momentum. Pausing on that extension here. Reach around, grab onto your foot or your ankle. Stay here or kick your foot into your hand, coming into crossbow. And then releasing back to that extension, placing your hand and knee back down, flipping that right hand over so your fingertips face your left hand, then lean over towards the left. Coming back up to center, touch every fingertip to your thumb one by one, and go back the other way. Then shake out that hand. Place it back down on the mat, and then flip your hands around so your fingertips face your body and your palms are still down on the mat, and then lean back a little bit to stretch out your forearms. Coming back up to center, releasing that. You can kind of shake out each wrist a little bit. Then coming back to that nice tabletop form, really engaging your core. Tuck your toes under and press back to downward facing dog, pedaling out your feet here. Keep rolling your shoulders away from your ears. On an inhale, come up onto your tippy toes. And on an exhale, bring your heels down. Good, inhale up. Exhale, lower. Last time, inhale up to your tippy toes. And exhale, heels down. Looking forward towards your hands, start to walk your feet up to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Just hanging out here. You can bend your knees, grab onto opposite elbows, sway side to side. You can nod your head yes and no. Pausing here for one more breath in. One more breath out. Releasing your bind and then inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, one vertebrae at a time, coming up to standing. Your head is the last thing to come up. When you get to the top, inhale your arms out and up. And then tip over toward the right side, bringing that right arm down to your leg. Coming back up to center, tip over towards the left, bringing that left arm down. Coming back up to center, and then place your hands on your lower back. Your fingers can point up or down. Press into your back and come into a little mini back bend, just looking up a little bit towards the ceiling. Coming back up to center, releasing your arms out and up. Then exhale your hands to heart center, pausing here and closing your eyes. Feeling your feet connected to the mat. Feeling that micro bend in your knees. Your abs are engaged and strong. That breath is going into your diaphragm. Your shoulders are rolling down and back. Relaxing your face here. Relaxing the muscles around your eyes. Notice the difference in your body between now and when we started class just a few minutes ago. Thanking yourself for making this difference. Taking one more deep breath in here. Exhale, release all your air out. Slowly start to open your eyes, then inhale your arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Stepping back to plank and holding here nice and strong, pressing up and out of your hands. Trying to make your body one straight line. And then releasing your knees down to the ground. With your elbows hugging in towards your body, release your body down to the ground as well. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra, whatever feels better to your back right now. And then exhale back to child's pose with your knees wide and your toes together. Releasing your forehead down to the mat. Taking one more deep breath in. One more deep breath out. On your next inhale, leave your hands and your knees where they are and just come forward to swan. Bringing those toes up behind you. Imagine you're one of those crazy flexible people who can touch your head to your feet. And then come back into that child's pose. And inhale forward to swan, really opening up your hip flexors and your back here. and exhale back to child's pose. Last time, inhale forward, roll your shoulders back, press up and out of your hands, and exhale back to child's pose. This time coming up to tabletop, making sure that your knees are about hips width apart. And we're going to do a few glute exercises here. So extend that right leg behind you. Start to tap your toe down and inhale it up as much as you can without really arching your back too much. Then tap it down and lift it up. Trying to make sure the only thing that's moving is your leg. Of course, the rest of your body's going to move a little bit, but not too much. You can always come up onto gorilla fist, so your knuckles are down on the ground, or you can bring your forearms down to the ground. Let's do 2 more of these and then hold at the top. Start to pulse that leg higher, really focusing on where that hamstring muscle connects to your glute muscle. Keep pulsing for 3, 2, 1, and then bend your knee. Keep pulsing that leg up for donkey kicks. So you bring your leg to the 90-degree angle and then kick it up a little bit. Really feeling that glute activation here, getting nice and strong. Keep pulsing for 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring your knees together, take a little break here. And then start to open that leg out to a fire hydrant. Bring it back down, kick it back for that donkey kick. Good, bring your knees back together. So open to a fire hydrant, back together, back for a donkey kick. Keep going at your own pace here. You should also feel this on that left leg, the one that's stabilizing you. Even though it's not the one moving, it is doing a lot of work. Make sure when you lift it out to that fire hydrant, it comes straight out from your hip. Let's take 1 more of these. Then start bringing that right knee to your right elbow and extend it back behind you. Good, right knee, right elbow, crunch it in, extend behind you. This is the last exercise on this leg, and then we're switching legs. You guys got it. If you don't got it, that's also great. You can come back to child's pose and reconnect with your breath, taking a little break. Really listen to your own body. Let's take 3 more of these. Last 2. And last 1. Good, placing that knee back down to meet your other knee, straight into the other side. Your left leg goes back, tap your toe down, and inhale it up. Making sure that those fingers are still spread wide. You're pressing especially into your pointer finger and your thumb. Your shoulders are rolled away from your ears. Also make sure you're not dumping your chest down in between your arms. You're really engaging it and pressing yourself up and out. Remembering any of those hand variations, you can come up with your knuckles or down to your forearms if your wrists are hurting. Let's do 2 more. On that second one, hold your leg at the top and pulse it higher. Looking down towards your fingertips or the front of your mat, making sure you're not straining your neck. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bending that knee, Kick it up for that donkey kick pulse. So down to that 90-degree angle, then kick it up towards the sky. Making sure your core is engaged to protect your lower back. And then hold at the top and pulse that leg higher. Keep pulsing for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees back together, little tiny break. And open that knee out to a fire hydrant. Bring your knees back together. Kick your leg back for a donkey kick. Keep going at your own pace. There was a bug. Really keep that core engaged. You should really be feeling the burn now. I know I do. Push yourself as much as you can, but not too much that you're feeling any pain. If you feel any pain, definitely slow down or stop completely and just take a little break and then rejoin when you're ready. Let's take one more of that ground. Then start bringing your left knee to your left elbow and extend that left leg back. Keep going at your own pace. This is the last exercise on this leg. These exercises are also really good for stabilizing your hips, which is so important in everything you do pretty much. Walking, especially walking up and down stairs. Let's do 3 more of these, really crunching that knee as much to your elbow as you possibly can. Last 2, and last 1. Bringing those knees together, crossing your ankles, coming back to a seat. Let's stretch those muscles that we just worked. So either stay in crisscross applesauce or start to bring one shin on top of your other shin. So your shins are parallel to your mat and your hips, your knees, and your heels are in one line. Sitting up nice and tall, trying to get that top knee down to your bottom leg, but if you can't, you can put like a pillow or anything in that space. Really lengthen your spine, and then if it is comfortable to you, fold forward over your legs. If you want to turn this into a twist, bringing your arm to your foot, you want to twist towards the foot that's on top. Bring your elbow like inside of the arch of your foot. Bring your hands together, rolling your shoulder blades together and looking up towards the sky. Releasing that, coming back up to center and switching sides. So either switch the way your legs are crossed or the way your legs are stacked. Really flex your feet. That helps protect your knee. Sitting up nice and tall, either staying here or you can fold forward over your legs if you would like to. You can turn this into a twist by twisting towards the foot that's on top, bringing your hands to heart center. Make sure your feet stay flexed. Coming back up to center, releasing that twist, Bring your feet down to the mat and knees up towards the sky. Bring your hands behind you and just windshield wiper your knees from side to side, releasing your lower back and your hips here. When you're done with that, start to lie down on one side. Doesn't matter which side, we're going to do both. You can bring your hand underneath your head, or you can lie all the way down on your arm. Who doesn't like working out lying down? I think it's the best. Bend that bottom knee so you have some more balance. Then extend that top leg out. Tap your toe down and inhale it up, working on the side of your hip here. Again, moving with control. Try to feel how lifting your leg also engages your obliques, being really cognizant of what muscles are working so we can utilize that mind-muscle connection. Let's lift for 3, 2, and 1, and then draw circles with that leg. Imagine you have a crayon between your big toe and your second toe, and you're drawing a circle on the wall, making sure you're not cutting off any of the circle, especially the top. You can place that top hand in front of you for more balance, and switch the direction of your circles going the other way. Let's take one more. And then step that top foot in front of you. You can hold onto your foot or your leg if that feels good to you. Extending that bottom leg out, really either point or flex your foot. Keep it engaged. Start to lift and lower that bottom leg. Really isolating your inner thigh here. Maybe try to not let that leg touch the ground so that you're just bringing it down to a hover, making that exercise a little harder if you want an extra challenge right now. Pausing at the top of your lift and then pulse your leg higher. Then start to bring that leg into circles just like we did in the top leg. Imagine that crayon in your toes. You can switch how your arm is, maybe lie all the way down if your wrist or your neck is hurting. Switch the direction of your circles. This is the last exercise on this leg, and then we're going to switch. Really engaging your core to help you perform this exercise better. Keep circling for 3, 2, 1. Releasing that leg down, sitting up and going straight to the other side. We're going to stretch after the other side. Getting comfy here. Bending that bottom knee, extending your top leg out, lift it up and lower it down. Good, keep going your own pace. Maybe this side is already feeling a little harder because we made it tired doing the other side. Try to really relax your upper body, releasing all the tension from your shoulders. We're just isolating our lower body here. Let's lift for last 2. The last one, hold at the top and draw some circles with that leg, trying to make sure your hips stay in one straight line so you're not letting that top hip come back or forward as you make that circle. I'm definitely feeling it. I hope you are too. Getting some nods, yay, I'm glad. Switch the direction of your circles. Keep going for 4, 3, 2, 1. Step that foot in front of you. Maybe hold on to it if you want. Really engage that bottom leg, pointing or flexing your foot. You can switch between them as well. Then start to lift that leg and lower it down. Maybe just to that hover, maybe all the way down to the ground. Whatever you're feeling on this side. Again, trying to make sure your hips stay still while you're lifting that leg. When you get to the top, pulse your leg higher. Then take some circles to one direction. Then switch the direction of your circles. You're almost there. Staying nice and strong here. Keep going. Last 2. Last 1, releasing that leg. Then sitting up so we can stretch out our legs here. Bringing your legs wide on your mat. You can turn to the side if you would like to, so you have the whole mat. Really flexing your feet and making sure that your feet go to the back so you're not caving your knees in. That helps protect your knee joint. Sitting up nice and tall. And then if you want to, you can fold forward in between your legs. Releasing those inner thighs that are really tired, hopefully. Then walking both hands over towards the right side of your mat. Bringing that right arm inside of your right thigh. Extend that left arm up towards the ceiling. Stay here or bring that arm over to try to touch your foot or somewhere close to it. Sometimes I like to just stay with my arm up towards the ceiling. I feel like it gets a better stretch in my side body sometimes. So do whatever feels good to you right now. Then coming back through center and go over towards the left. Bringing that left arm inside of your right thigh. Extend that right arm up towards the ceiling. Stay with it up towards the sky or extend it over to touch your foot. Walking back through center and then pressing yourself back up. Bring your knees and feet together, and then hug your right knee into your chest, sitting up nice and tall. Keep flexing that left foot. Then twist towards the right, looking over your right shoulder. You can bring that left arm across your thigh if you want. Coming back to center and switching legs, extending that right leg out, bending your left knee in, sitting up nice and tall here. This is stretching that outer hip that we were working when we were lifting our top leg. Then twist towards the left. You can bring that arm across or hug your knee. It can be confusing which way you should twist to. In most twists in all of yoga and Pilates, you twist towards your leg. So like towards the leg that's into your chest, or pretty much your leg is always into your chest, because even in high crescent lunge, it's like closer to you. Coming back to center, releasing your legs, coming back into tabletop, tucking your toes under and pressing back to downward facing dog. Bring that right foot forward in between your hands, coming into runner's lunge. Just kind of rock back and forth, feeling that stretch on your left hip flexor. Then bringing that knee down to the ground, staying here or walking your hands up to your thigh. Leaving that right arm on your right thigh, extend your left arm up and over. Bringing your hands back down to the ground and pressing back to half split, straightening that front leg, flexing your front foot. Coming back into that low lunge, tucking your back toes under, stepping back to plank and pressing back to downward facing dog. Stepping that left foot forward this time into runner's lunge, rocking back and forth if you'd like to. And bring that back knee, your right knee, down to the ground. If you want, you can bring your hands up to your thigh. You can leave that left arm on your left leg and extend your right arm up and over. Bring both hands down to the ground and press back to half split, straightening that front leg. Feeling that stretch in your hamstring and the muscle behind your knee and your calf muscle. Coming back to that low lunge, tucking your back toes under, pressing back to plank and back to downward facing dog. Looking forward towards your hands, walking your feet up, coming through to a seat. You can make sure you have enough room to extend your legs out on your mat. You're going to bring your back to a C shape. So really like curve it and engage your core. And your arms come out to your sides. You're going to lift that right leg up. Then bend your knee into your chest. Extend it out. Lift it up. Lower it down to that hover. Good. Bend in towards you. Extend it out. Lift it up. Lower to a hover. Keep going like that at your own pace. Really keeping your core engaged this whole time. This is a really good exercise for your transverse abdominis, which is those deeper ab muscles, as well as strengthening your hip flexor. Usually you don't want to round your back, but in this exercise, it's really important that your back looks like a C. Let's take one more of these. Sit up, take a little break for a second, relaxing that leg. Okay, break is over. Come back to that C shape. Lift your left leg up, bend your knee into your chest, extend it out, lift it up, lower it down. Good. Extend, lift up, lower, bend it in towards you. Keep going at your own pace. You are so strong. Make sure you keep breathing. Think about how strong your core is. So that means you can do so many cool little things. Let's take two more here. Releasing that leg down, sitting up, Crossing your ankles, coming back into that tabletop, stepping back to plank. From plank, just step that right foot forward so your right knee comes to your right wrist, and your left leg, you can scoot it more behind you to come into pigeon. Your right foot can be anywhere you would like it to be, maybe closer to your hip, maybe closer to your wrist. Sitting up nice and tall, rolling those shoulders back. Stretching out your hip flexor from that exercise that we just did. If you would like to, you can fold down to your forearms or to your mat. Taking one more breath in here. One more breath out. Pressing yourself back up to center, tucking your back toes under, stepping back to plank, and switching sides. Your left knee comes to your left wrist. I like to kind of tuck my back toes under and scoot my leg back as much as it can go. So I'm getting the most out of my stretch. Rolling your shoulders back, sitting up nice and tall. Feeling that stretch in your hip flexor. And then if you would like to, you can fold down over that leg to wherever you feel good. Taking one more inhale here. One more exhale. Start to press yourself up to center. Tuck your back toes under, press back to plank, and back to downward facing dog. Looking forward through your hands, start to walk your feet up so you can come down to a seat, making sure you have enough room to lie down, one vertebrae at a time lying down on your mat. Bringing your knees into your chest, rocking side to side. And then bringing your knees over towards the left, arms out to a T. You can push down on your legs with your left hand if that feels good to you, and gaze over your right hand. When you're doing a twist, you should always go to the left first because it's better for your digestion. Bringing your legs back up to center and then back over towards the right. Pressing down on your legs with your right hand, gazing over towards the left. Coming back up to center, bring your knees together and feet wide. Pressing your hands into the very tops of your thighs. Try to press your upper body away from your lower body. This helps create space in between your lower vertebrae that get compressed together from sitting down. Releasing that, bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest. Start to extend your arms and legs out on your mat, taking up as much space as you would like, getting comfortable, knowing that all your hard work is done, and all you have to do here is relax in Shavasana. You're welcome to stay here for longer, but if you would like to wake up with me, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch your arms over your head for one final full body stretch. Deepening your breath here. Hugging your knees into your chest, rocking side to side. Rolling over onto your right side. Notice how relaxed you feel here, and know that you deserve to feel like this more often. Pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat with your hands at heart center and your eyes closed. Thank you so much for coming and practicing with me today. The light in my heart honors and cherishes the light inside of each and every one of yours. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming to Yogalates. I had a lot of fun teaching that one, and I hope you liked taking